spawning in as the blue team, we have Cheese and Puns, which is Quizbico and Admiral General, and their opponents in this best of 3 is Pizza Money, who are from the Realm team, Burnt Custard and Andreas G. Now, this is the Amazonian Safari. I'm not going to call it by its real name because, honestly, that is way too many vowels. 110 medals, so that's about 55 apiece. That's a sizable chunk of money, especially when you calculate in the tier 2 that you can get off of this. This looks like a face. This is a face. You have the eyes, the eyebrows, you got the nose, the cheeks, and then you got the mouth. That is about all I can label this place as. That's about as far as creativity goes. Alright, so I believe we have the 2T. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think they spawn there. Yeah, they have to spawn there. That would make sense. Okay, so we have both teams spawning here, and then I was going to use my hands to demonstrate what happens, but then I realized that I only have the game open. So then they're going to basically just spread out and just go everywhere. Now, the water does connect to the opposite side, so that's a big deal. But spawning in for this best of 3 semifinals, the blue team, also known as Cheesy Puns, it is Admiral General and Quizbico. And their opponents, cutting down Hazy Misclick, who were, I mean, just fantastic players. It was Hazy Misclick was Pwn for 2, and I believe Mont 9001. This is the other team. What is going on here? It is Andreas G and Burnt Custard. Now we do see double bots, as is kind of the standard on this map. Both players just getting out, the good stuff. They just kind of doing what they do. And now this is a best of 3 hosted on the Exodus eSports tournament page. My name is Ghost. These two teams are competing for a spot in the finals for $200. Yeah, that's right, 200 smackaroos. And they are fighting their first match on Amazonias, also known as Tuck, or Truck, or Duck, or Luck, or Fornication, or, other wonderful things. Now, we do have Bot Air and Bot Air Air. Now that's interesting. So they actually added an extra air. You see how I went said the same thing, but then I added that. You see that air? That's procasting right there. The real question of the day, though, is we see the exact same thing coming out of them. So it's gonna be bots and air. Honestly, that's the right choice on a map like this. The idea of going vehicles, while it is, it's an idea. I don't like it. There's not enough metal, especially when you're pushing towards your opponent's base, to really justify. Oh, that's a good find right there from the blue team. Now, back to the tanks. The reason that is such a good, or such kind of like a bad idea to go vehicles is, well, first off, you've got a lot of open area to cover. Docks, bombers, I mean, there's just stuff everywhere that can easily get to you. Next thing is, there's not a lot of metal on your way towards your opponent. So usually as a tank style army or commander, usually you want to be pushing towards your opponent's base and gaining metal so that you can keep up your production as they do as well. Bots, especially docks, are obviously much cheaper than tanks, usually about a 2-to-1 ratio in terms of productivity. Ooh, that's nice. I like that scout. Yo, that scout is on point. Ooh, they see everything. The commanders, you see the production, the docks. Oh, that is a fantastic scout. Now, and also, especially on a map like this, you've got these little water pockets that tanks just simply put cannot go through. And, well, docks are amphibious, so they can. Now, I don't think we will see a very aggressive or as focused, maybe, naval game as maybe on a map like, I'm forgetting the name, but it's Skull Island. It's a map, it's got a giant skull, and the way that the two bases are connected is this kind of small water bridge that players can build navy and, if they want to, kill your opponent with navy. But that isn't really the case on this. Yes, there is a surefire way, but it's a very long travel. I mean, I'm talking in terms of travel distance. It was basically from this base to about here in terms of travel time for the navy, so it was very close. So if you went navy, it would work, but on a map like this, the travel time is just very, very painful. Now, we do see some bombers starting to get their jobs done. Blue notifying Blue saying, hey, there's power here. That is all. Both teams surplusing actually a little bit there for a second. Blue, the first of the two to get their economy under control. And now here's the big, I was going to say here's the big thing. Their economy, the blue economy is actually stabilizing on a greater number, which is very important, while the purple is floating on a lesser number, which is even worse. But it looks like they have leveled out, and blue is just slightly ahead. I mean, they keep jumping around because I think they're reclaiming with their combat fabrics, because, you know, tree economy is actually the best economy. Very early tier 2. We're at, oh no, 5 minutes is about right. So 5 minutes, tier 2 bots, about a quarter of the way there. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid tier 2 timing. We do see a little puddle fights here. We have a narwhal being built up to try and move in to stop the production of this naval factory from purple. Doc's starting to move in against Pizza Money. Bomber's gonna say, yo, what's up? You don't exist anymore, sucker! And they mostly all die. This turret should just clean up the rest of them. The air army from blue is going to kill off all of the units, but then subsequently die off itself. So what did it really accomplish? Not much. Some tanks out of tanks, okay. Tanks out of purple coming across, but again, amphibious docks are amphibious, and with the commander hidden, or okay, I thought that'd do a lot more damage than it did, but it really didn't. So the docks not actually being able to accomplish much here. A little bit on the disappointing side, but what are you gonna do about that, you know? So tanks and docks now moving out for Pizza Money, the purple team, and we do see some tier 1 navals starting to set them up. These torpedo wars is the name of the game when it comes to naval fights. If you, as in blue right now, get your torpedoes up before your opponent does, it's effectively game set match in terms of naval warfare. Unless you get a pelter up which can outrange them, you just cannot break this. This is just simply unbreakable. This is indestructible in terms of damage. Now, that being said, though, we do see a very big push of tanks out of purple, which is a very, very surprising decision out of them. I would think that the docks would be a lot more efficient, but we do see just with the productivity of this massive tank army, the proximity of tanks is, I mean, just their travel time is actually a lot quicker than I expected. So good decision making out of purple. Now it does look like this commander is going to meet this army halfway, which is honestly I think the right choice, as he can clean this up and then place some walls and turrets here himself, and then you know, just fortify it, and then the next time some tanks decide to, you know, say hi and hello, there really won't be much that the tanks can do, because the commander is a very obviously healthy and tanky unit. Now we do see some locusts. Oh boy, locusts are bad news bears. Locusts are the bad news bears of the video game world. Now we do see that they're moving in, and here comes the fun. These docks are gonna try and, I think, buy time. Ping, I think they saw the tier 2, but I don't know if they saw the locusts. I don't think that they did. And the locusts are trying to position themselves to do some serious damage here. We're going to keep an eye on the tank army, which has been cleaned up by the two commanders that are now, you know, positioned themselves. Here comes the locust. They're going to be seen by the hummingbirds. The pings go out. They see them, but what can they do? There are some docks here, but they're... Oh, that landmine didn't go up in time. Oh, that's a big deal. He's going to fly right into these docks. The docks get just devoured. Oh, my goodness. This is big. The locusts just get inside the base, and there's death and destruction. Death to the undeserving. Everything falling right now for the purple team. Burnt Custard and Andreas G massively on the back foot. What was that? 4, 2, 4, 5. 5 metal extractors, 3 air factories, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, 5 power. I mean, that was massive. That was no. Oh my. Ugh. Locust. That was beautiful. That was fantastically executed by Quizpico and Admiral General. That was a fantastic decision. Purple saw it, but it was just too little too late. I think we're going to be seeing round 2 here, and Andreas G and Burnt Custard need to get themselves back together now. That was a very strong right hook there from Quizpico and Admiral General, and now Andreas G and Custard, they need to get back against the their backs are against the corners in the boxing ring. I don't know what the the official term for it is. I know all of you are going to correct me about it, but their backs are against that in that corner right now. They got to keep their hands up, stay strong, just try and shoot for the late game right now. But the problem is late game ain't coming, sucker. There is a Kraken on its way, and torpedoes just don't matter to this thing. Oh my goodness, death and destruction. Quizbico and Admiral General playing this like just true players and champions. They want that $200 no matter who's in their way, whether that be the I think this is like easily the top 20, two of the top 20 Uber players. And I mean, look at that. Even the Typhoon is just dancing in happiness. We do see some Locusts, I think, setting up for a second wave here. What I would personally like to see, and now this is just the grovelings of a crazy cast. Oh, these are gonna be seen. Oh, that's so sad. These poor Locusts are gonna get seen. Would be for these Locusts to actually hop into the water and just eat up all of the metal, because the actual attack time for a lot of the naval units is actually quite slow in compared to most units. Oh, that's Leviathan. Those are Leviathan rounds. Holy cow. Yep, there it is. It's like where is it? It should be like right here, shouldn't it? No, it's over here. From here, it fired to here and killed some docks. That's the range of a Leviathan. It's some scary stuff. Now we do see tier 2 vehicles going up for both teams. I believe, yeah, it looks like the purples has gone up a little bit earlier. We do see the naval on both sides now getting pushed out from the purple team. That being said, though, purple's making their way downtown through this water, and Quizbico and Admiral General, I don't think they realize it. That's a bit of a big deal, because Leviathans, they don't go across water. Now you can get Kaijus; those do go across water, but the problem is this is a pretty strong army. Two orcas, 2 narwhals, and a couple fabricators. That's pretty powerful. I mean, just in general, the productivity. They have fabricators here, but they're not doing anything with them. I don't like that. Tier 2 is up, and blue recognized this. Oh, but they have a Leviathan here. I think if they put this guy right here in port, they could easily snipe that tier 2. No questions asked. Tier 2 in the, I guess, the sidewinding pond here for Andreas G and Burnt Custard. I like this decision. That will definitely give them some leeway. But yeah, once this Leviathan gets in range, that tier 2 factory is just on a timer, and it will go down inevitably. There we go. Ping's going out. Yeah, they're trying to get as many units out as possible, but it's not going to be. That's not a good sign. And I think we're starting to see the gong of death here. Though no commanders have died, it's starting to set itself up. Now this is the next best thing that I think Burnt Custard and Admiral General could have gotten. We do see that there is some dance. Oh, are they dancing? Whoa! Oh, hey! We have dancing submarines or barracudas. Oh, they're moving now. Oh, I cry. Oh, they're spinning around in happiness for a little bit. They're like, yay, we got to kill things. But no, there's tier 2 on its way, and I cry. We do have some naval fights going on right now, but I think once blue realizes that this is actually quite the naval force that's already here, and there's a lot of naval that is being built. That's honestly a very big deal, because let's pretend that a Leviathan gets in range right here and just sits in this harbor. This is all dead, guaranteed. That is the base of blue. Now we do see some naval units that have gotten into position around this pond and are doing a little bit of economic damage, but they are now down almost 200 metal. Yeah, there's the Kaiju. Yep, there's the Kaiju. So. Kaijus, for a quick little summary, they are the hover equivalent. They are the naval equivalent of a drifter from the vehicle factory. They are only built in tier 2. They are very high damage, actually. 200 damage, 120 DPS versus 84 and 42 against the Bolo. So that's a big deal, especially something that can outrange most units. That's very important. And, well, most of the base from... it's kind of gone. Most of the base from purple is kind of gone, so that's a bit of an issue. But we do see Docs trying to make a stand against this Kaiju. 25%. They're trying and trying and trying, but I think the little tank engine that could just won't be able to do it. Now we do see Kaiju. Now this is something you don't always see, especially in a tournament with money on the line. Kaijus fighting Kaijus. I don't think I've ever been able to say that in any cast match that I've ever done. I don't think I've ever been able to say that. Kaiju's fighting Kaijus, but it happens here, folks, only on the second Exodus stream. Not the first, not that cool first one. No. You get the real commentary in the second one, okay? That last Kaiju thought he could do it, but not today, son. And well, oh my goodness, look at that damage. Yeah, so this is just gonna eat everything. Boom goes the first commander. And at this point, now all Quizpico and Admiral General have to do is find a way to get rid of this last commander, and that can be the end of them. Now, we do see... Oh, it looks like the GGs will be called, so Andreas G calling it. Good game, well played. Coming out from both sides. Yep, good game, well played coming out from both sides, and we will be moving on to match point on Choke, or Choke, or Spaghetti. I don't know what they want me to call it.